T-minus 1 minute.
What?
More juice for the gyro.
Like the juice.
T-minus 50 seconds.
At the point where we're at, it is a lot easier for new people to get up to speed really quick.
T-minus 40 seconds.
Let's go. That's a W. That's E1. That's E1. That's a W. How many people want to eat a W tonight?
T-minus 30 seconds.
Refill taking over our camera. I think there may be a penalty for excessive celebration, but you know what? I'm going to let that one slide.
T-minus 20 seconds.
That's what I'm talking about. Now you having some fun.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5,
Take a deep
4,
breath.
3,
This is it, right
2,
here.
1, 0.
Happy holidays from the Quest Nation. I'm your host, Andy Kazin. Got my main man, Steve, the eBay Hitman Caladesi, with me here on a Friday night special heading into week 15. Steve, how are you, my friend?
Doing well, man. Survived the work week, and we got some snow in the forecast here. So I don't know, but probably not snow in your forecast, I would imagine. But things are finally getting cold, and icing over. So should be some interesting Chicago football to end the season in the last few weeks here. How's things?
No, I got that. I got that Floridian blood, man. It's like high 50s, mid 60s. I don't know. It is cold. I feel cold. You see, I got the jacket on. I normally don't have a jacket, but tonight I do. But no snowstorm, man. No, I'm glad the Bengals are coming to Tampa. I'm sure they're glad too. Whereas Miami, not so thrilled about going to Buffalo. I saw the tweet from Buffalo earlier today. There is a big snowstorm up there, man.
You know, I think that if it was just cold, I think it would be heavily in favor of Buffalo. But if there's like a full-on snowstorm, I think it'll just be anybody's game. I mean, if there's snow on the field, anything can happen.
No doubt. Steve and I are not brothers. We are brothers from another mother's. Is one of those things. We're brothers on the quest, man.
We're fellow Tampa fans. You know, we both have some roots in Tampa, but I don't live there.
Yeah, we both like pizza. We both like chicken nuggets. We both like the Bucks, and we think Justin Fields is good. And yeah, man, we love football, and we love football cards. There's nothing more fun than to follow football, play fantasy football, make some pick'em bets on Underdog Fantasy we're going to look at tonight. Do some live shopping, whether it's on eBay or our new sponsor, the Card Shop Live. We're going to talk about them in a little bit. Got to give a shout out to our sponsors and talk about what they got going on. But Steve, it looks like us going live on Friday night. We got a couple new people in the chat. We got Levi Hermer, Derek O'Neill. Happy holidays. Steve Guess, your text works. You guessed correctly, Steve Guess. That's a cool last name. Test works, sir. And we got VA Beach Collectibles, always hot on the quest. What's going on, man? We're going to get into some live eBay sniping. I've got my favorite plays of the week in my back pocket. Steve has got his. We're going to get into some very interesting research, because it's one thing to have an edge on like picking the best players in the NFL, or like just picking players that are going to perform better than other players in any given game, any given scenario. There's one thing, and a lot of people are good at that. Like a lot of people are good at picking out good players and in good scenarios where they can actually pop off. But then it's a totally another thing to actually pick a good hobby strategy. Like picking the right card is really what I'm trying to say, just to make it simple. Like picking the right card and at the right price point, Steve. That is so complex, and it requires a lot of work, and that's what we're here to help you guys do, and we're here to bring you guys along with us as we try and do that live tonight on the stream.
That's right. I mean, it's simple to say what a good card is in many cases. You know, everyone can say a Joe Burrow rookie ticket auto is a good card, but there are advantageous times or weeks to buy that card and end up with a better result than if you just blindly bought it.
I'm loving this, man. We've never gotten this these comments that you and I have
is this
such a
Derek,
striking resemblance
alias,
that we look like brothers. But that's fantastic. Derek O'Neill. Now Derek O'Neill, I hope this is not a Derek Richard burner account, but this is actual different Derek. Is Derek O'Neill. Yo, what's good, man? Jay Buin, what's good? Happy Friday night, Derek. Awesome. Steve, I know it's been like, it feels like an eon since week 14. We did have San Francisco put a good beating on Seattle last night. Were there any major takeaways for you last week, all the way back 4 or 5 days ago now? I know it's a long time ago. Any major takeaways that you had from last week that you feel we really need to be aware of?
I think that an important one is any team on any week is a good example. I know some people in the Discord were talking about the Texans being like an upset game, and they almost really pulled that off. So, I mean, we've talked about on the show quite a few times about how a team can be just a few guys away from being pretty good and competitive, and they showed that they're scrappy and they can play with anybody. But at the end of the day, it's all about wins and losses. You and I both know that. So I think that was a huge one for me. And I think everyone was maybe even still talking about the Rams pulling it off. I got a lot of Raiders fans that I know around here, and they were just speechless all week after that.
It doesn't get much easier for them this week because now they're going to the Patriots to play them, and the Patriots have played a lot more aggressive this year on defense. Now that you got Bill Belichick's son, Pete Belichick, pretty much calling the defense there, and Matt Patricia calling the offense, and Bill Belichick overseeing everything. They played a lot more aggressive on defense this year. This is a really interesting matchup, I think, coming up this Sunday. Is the Raiders at New England, because have been some teams that have put up some pretty decent stat lines against New England. There's also been some teams that have been shut out. So, it's kind of one of those situations where I think Devontae Adams could go off, but it could also be very disappointing. But I'm putting my money on Devontae Adams putting up a decent stat line this week.
I think one of my other favorite takeaways was a team that I've been talking about since people tried to clown me for it before the season, but the Detroit Lions. They look high octane. They look fun to watch. They look like contenders. They may not make it this year, but their odds went from 7% to close to 30%, I believe, from last week to this week.
Yeah, let's check out the new power rankings before we dive into eBay here. Because some of it has changed. You mentioned the Lions. They are definitely making a run here up to 21st, but now they have a 19% chance to make the playoffs with Jared Goff under center. That is exciting, man. They get Jamison Williams back on the field. DJ Chark is healthy. It's pretty incredible what they are able to do with a guy like DJ Chark on the perimeter. And I think he is underrated. I think people don't realize how good DJ Chark actually is. He's one of those guys that is incredibly fast and at the same time has a big wingspan. So very talented wide receiver. And I think that opens things up for Amon-Ra St. Brown, like underneath, over the middle. It also opens things up for Swift. And now you add this other dynamic with Jamison Williams, and you still have a top 5 offensive line. Like, this is huge. Now, this will be the test this week, right? Going up against the Jets, who have had a top 5 defensive coverage unit. Plus, they've got like almost a top 5 pressure rate, off the line. So, I mean, incredible test this week. You got Sauce Gardner. You got a guy who used to play in Tampa in Jordan Whitehead. I mean, the Jets defensive secondary playing really good. Their line's been playing really good. I mean, this is going to be a big test for the Lions this week. I think is one of the premier matchups to kind of watch.
I got to say a couple more takeaways from me for last week. The Ravens 9-4, but they don't look that good. I mean, the record is really all that matters, but they don't look good. But I will say I do think that their key to winning going forward is going to be Dobbins. You have Lamar Jackson hurt, and Dobbins is that guy that we thought he was, and he came back, and they weren't even sure if he was going to start, and he definitely started, and he definitely ran well.
Now, are you concerned at all about the one 44-yard run towards the end of the game where the Steelers defender chased him down, and you could see Dobbins wanted to go 4-3 full speed ahead, but he couldn't quite get there. And he admitted after the game that he's not still 100%. And I'm just like, wow. But already that many yards gained after contact, the guy has just got such good vision as a running back. I mean, he's just such a big upgrade over anything else they have. And I mean, his athletic profile is just so explosive that when I think he does continue to kind of develop and grow. I kind of love him as a target as well, with how easy the Ravens schedule is over the rest of the season. And just like the injuries that they're dealing with being Rashad Bateman, Lamar Jackson, now Tyler Huntley, with the concussions. So, I mean, I just think that they need a playmaker like him, and he gets more and more healthy. I don't know if you're concerned about that at all, that he was clearly like not, a 4-3 J.K. Dobbins, but still, decent J.K. Dobbins.
I'm not too worried about it. I think anytime you're injured, you can't quite train to the level you're accustomed to. And, conditioning and weight training is a big part of that. And, when you're recovering from an injury, you're not training at 100%. So naturally, you're not going to be at your peak. So I think that as long as he stays off the injured list here, he can get his speed back. I'm not too worried about that.
Now, this is an interesting storyline developing here. Shout out to Card Guy 20. I love this comment. It's possible, this game against the Lions turns into fireworks. There is a possible storyline where Zach Wilson comes out because Mike White is sidelined. Joe Flacco is a sideline where they're deciding to start Zach Wilson. And hey, man, it's possible that he comes out and plays decent. The thing is, in 20 starts in his NFL career, he's only thrown for over 300 yards once, Steve. Literally once. I actually went back and looked, and only 4 out of the 20 games has he thrown for 2 touchdowns or more. And 16 of those other games has been 1 touchdown or fewer. That's not good, man. That's not good.
Yeah, I got to say that the Jets, before the running back woes, looked like they were going to be playoff bound. I think they're sinking now. I think that the defense may not be able to hold them up anymore. The Lions have been better at home, undoubtedly, but they just might inch past and keep themselves in the hunt at this point. I think the Jets are toast.
This is going to be a very interesting game to watch. I'm very excited to watch that game. I am definitely on the side of selling Baker Mayfield. I sold mine. I broke even. I didn't even get a profit. You know what? We'll pull Baker Mayfield up right now and show you what his current graded market is. Give you a quick overview. But yeah, I mean, not as crazy pop, right? I mean, he's going to have to do more, especially with the fact that the Rams are not going to make the playoffs. They're just absolutely their season's done. You don't have Cooper Kupp, and Baker wins 1 game on a new team. He has a bigger market. They're former Super Bowl champions, and it's a former number 1 overall pick in Baker Mayfield, who is a pretty decent actor. And good clipboard holder, but and look, Baker will play hero ball. That's what he did last Thursday night. That's how he got the win. It came down to the wire, but I am still totally on the selling side. Would not reinvest in Baker, no matter how much you tried to convince me.
Yeah, and if you're on that bandwagon and you're convinced he's going to maybe go somewhere and start next year, there'll surely be better buying opportunities in the offseason. There's still, as you can see from those numbers, an upward trend, which is not really where you want to be buying in on a risky buy.
Yeah, on a risky, but at this point, there is a lot of risk in buying Baker Mayfield. And now, if you want to get you something small, like I don't blame you. If you want to go get you a $30, $40 PSA 10 base Donruss, well, they were selling at 50 at earlier in the season. Back where was it? Like right around? No, it was back before the season when he. Let me go to the 6-month chart. There we go. Yeah, if you go back to August before the season, about $50. So, that its potential's there. Cards are still really cheap. They're up some, so it's like giving people an opportunity to break even. But I certainly would not reinvest. What's up, Matt?
Let's see, yay or nay on Jordan Love? Maybe. We'll get to that. We'll probably get to that in a minute. But the Baker about ending on a Christmas auction, I would say definitely not.
No.
I wouldn't end any auctions on Christmas Eve, Christmas, the day after Christmas. I would just steer clear of that whole 3-day span, honestly.
Yeah, I would too. Even with games, anytime there's a holiday, you typically see a dip in market activity, market traffic, and therefore you get fewer bidders and fewer people pay attention, distractions, family time, and it's much harder to get the peak amount. Now, right after Christmas, when people maybe have some gift cards, they got a little bit of this, a little bit of that last week of the year. Now, I would say like that Monday night, day after Christmas, a lot of people still on vacation, but now the whole Christmas family time thing is over. I have to check, but I'm pretty sure there's a game that Monday night, and there's typically a lot of auctions ending on eBay. Like if you go to our Keep 'em football card web app, there is actually a market tab that tracks all the sold volume on eBay and breaks it out between buy it now and auctions sold on a daily basis. You guys get access to this over at patreon.com/footballcards, by the way. And if you look at this, these spikes in auction sold volume happens on Mondays. And if you can see, a lot of times there's a buy it now spike on a Monday too. And I think the reason why these big consignment shops are closing so many auctions on Monday is because they've done some research and they've looked at the data analytics behind when the most amount of cards are being sold. And a lot of it is Monday. Like a lot of people are reflecting on what just happened. Maybe they want to get their week started off with a buy. It like makes them feel good. I know it makes me feel good whenever I buy a new card, like put it in my collection, or make a little move in the market. And I think that's what they're seeing. And so you have so many auctions ending Monday night. So I think if you got the right card and the right player, it makes sense to end it on Monday night, especially if there's a game going down. Your player's in that game even more so. It's like that hyper relevancy effect, Steve, is very powerful right now.
Yeah, there's definitely something to it. You can clearly see the spikes there. I'm more of a Saturday nighter myself, but there's definitely an argument for Mondays given the data.
Yeah, look at the increases here in Trevor Lawrence, Baker Mayfield, Justin Herbert, Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow leading the way. My word, where's Tua fallen to? Tua's fallen to 151 sold in the past week, but you can see the auction volume still high. So this sometimes, the card shop owners, the consignment shop owners, the big auction houses on eBay are a little slow to like the hyper relevancy of the NFL, and you see them like continuously putting cards to auction. I think it's partly because they've got to keep their business running. They can't like just not put a Tua to auction just because he lost a couple games and his market is softened up, right? They're going to still put that card to auction. And maybe someone submitted to them and is looking to liquidate that, and they don't care. You got to make the money now. You got to force a sale. And that's where auctions are so powerful, because it'll force a sale. but you may get $100 less than what you could have potentially got if you would have just been patient and listed that card to buy it now and waited for his peak hype spike. Whether that's maybe it's the end of the season here, maybe they make the playoffs and they kind of get there. So definitely one angle to look at there, Steve. And you could find these like when markets are soft, you can find these deals on other platforms. And one of those is the Card Shop Live, guys. You see the new sponsor right here, top left corner, man. These guys are awesome, dude. So check it out. I pulled up their web app. You guys have got to check it out. We've got our own custom link in the description below, so you can sign up for free with our link, and you'll be entered into a giveaway that we're doing this upcoming February on a 2022 Donruss Hobby Box. You also get a $10 credit. I didn't even know this. This is on me. You will get a $10 credit using our link as well, and you can shop for football card singles, box breaks, signed jerseys, other memorabilia. They're founded by the Sports Card Nonsense and Geo Cards guys. Very tight vetting system. I love the design of their app. It is not overwhelming at all. It's very simple to use, very simple to get into, right? And it's a very tight vetting system. So they keep all of the riffraff out. Like, you're not going to get any type of nefarious sellers that don't send product, that start cursing at people, that do all kinds of crazy stuff. And it's got all those things. It's even got one-click grading. Like, you can actually quickly add on a card grading service at the end of your checkout after buying a single from one of the card dealers on this app. So really cool, plus some original content, guys. Go check it out. The Card Shop Live in the description below. All right, Steve. So we move on to who our favorite plays of the week are and get into some of these live eBay auctions.
Let's let it rip. So would you like to go first? Or you want me to go first?
I think I'm gonna go first because I don't want you to steal this one. I don't know. Right. I don't know who you got, but I don't want you to steal. I don't want you to steal this one, Steve. So my play this week, because I see the increase in Justin Herbert's volume this week and a little bit of uptick. And we know Justin Herbert's been a hobby darling going back to his rookie year in 2020. He's got the big physical stature. He's got the cannon for an arm, big market in LA. This is a team that just narrowly missed the playoffs last year. But when it comes to clutch moments, like Justin Herbert is a baller, man. He's a badass. And so I'm looking at them to maybe like get down to the wire again. We already looked at the power rankings, and Justin Herbert is and the Chargers like actually improved their odds now to a 48% chance to make the playoffs, second in the AFC West. And my play is not actually on him because I think it takes a pretty sizable bankroll. And I also don't, I think they're still very expensive to get into like a rookie autograph Justin Herbert card. But a guy that we saw pop massively early last year was Mike Williams, and he's battled with injuries this year. The Chargers have also struggled. Keenan Allen has also not been on the field. But now that they have their full suite of weapons with Keenan Allen, this is a guy that never puts up more than 30 fantasy points in a week, even PPR. But he's consistent 10 to 15, and he's a Chargers Hall of Famer. You know, he's a lifelong Chargers guy. But Mike Williams has got that big game upside. Mike Williams has got that 4-touchdown upside where he can go nuclear and put up 30 to 40 fantasy points and pop on the top 10 list. And all of a sudden, you've got just a huge volume spike. And he's from the 2017 draft class. So he comes with the iconic 2017 silver prisms out of the box. You know what I'm talking about. Those portrait-style rated rookies. He's a first-round draft capital guy. He's a big dude. He can win contested catches. He's got great route running, separation skills deep. And they're playing a bottom-of-the-league Titans pass defense. It just got absolutely destroyed the past 2 weeks. So, I mean, they've been getting destroyed all season long. They've got an incredible run defense, but they've been getting destroyed in the air. And with the Chargers season on the line, we know that Brandon Staley can dial up some very aggressive play calling And so I'm here for it. This is my stack this week in DFS is going to be Herbert and Mike Williams. And my card play is to target Mike Williams.
He looked really good this week, and you nailed it with talking about having those guys back. And it just goes to show that, even the best quarterback without a line can be weak, and a best quarterback without quality receivers can be not necessarily weak, but less than at his max potential. And having both guys back almost simultaneously has kind of propelled them from almost obscurity to now potentially making the playoffs. So, yeah, no, he did a lot of things early last year, and I sold pretty much all the Mike Williams I had, even just the base optic rated rookies that you could have got for like $1 or $2 at one point, that they were getting up to like, $15 to $20 in that range. So like you said, he's got that big game potential. And that's, if you're looking for like a short-term flip, like that's the kind of player you're looking for.
Yeah. Base entry, I would say $5 silver prism is not a bad idea. This is a kind of card, which is cool, that you could probably go to a local card shop or a card show. And you could probably find this card in somebody's dollar box or dollar bin. I wouldn't be surprised if this was a 99-cent auction right now on Mike Williams, where this ends at just a couple dollars. So I think that's a great entry-level card, because it's also a card that you can dress up in a one-touch. It's got a silver prism finish. It's got a pretty high gem rate, and it'll look good in a one-touch. And you could probably list it in a buy it now for $19.99. Accept offers around $15, and very possibly sell it. There's not a crazy high supply of 2017 silver prisms at any one time. It's actually like, it's one of those cards that is definitely a gold standard for 2017. I'm trying to see if I can even pull up the pop over here. Like, it's not even, his graded market is super tiny. Like, there's not, here it is. It's only got a population of 68. Now, of course, that's because he's a wide receiver and he's had some of these up and down seasons. But man, look at that, dude. Friday, November 4th, there was a PSA 10 that went for 16. Like, wow, what a steal. Oof. October 22nd, there was a PSA 10 for 50. I mean, that's just crazy.
I did a little side research on the spot for you here. For those that either have a ComC account or were thinking about opening one, you can get there's two listed at $3.50 right now. That's like a that's like a no-brainer price right there.
Yeah, nice entry level. Now, if I was going for like what I consider the sweet spot for eBay, and trying to get like that scarcity multiplier, I'm typically not a fan of horizontal, but I am a massive fan of cracked ice and an even bigger fan of rookie ticket autos. And with a super low serial number, 18 out of 25. Are you kidding me?
That's a fine, man.
Yeah, dude, that's also going to be an on-card auto. Not a 10 because there's a little tiny bit of smudging there. But I'm looking at a card that looks to be in really good shape. And I love that cracked ice finish. And I would dress this up. Like, I would have this in a one-touch. I think their lighting looks good here in this picture. So they did a good job, like on the photograph altogether. And it looks like there is maybe a couple soft corners or soft edge up there. And that coloring doesn't help, Steve. And yeah, I mean, that edge is a little banged up too. Yeah, edges are a little banged up, but dang, the card is so rare. I mean, this is basically a grail card, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. I don't even know where that's going to go. I mean, that's really low. I couldn't see it going for under 100, but I mean, if it does, that seems like probably a no-brainer. That's just too scarce, too sought after of a card for any player for it to go for under 100.
Let's see what you sent me here in the private chat. Steve coming through at the private chat on the ComC.
Now,
we got to go.
Now, if you got deeper pockets and you want to negotiate a bit, I bet that card could be negotiated for. you want to talk about scarcity. You want to talk about desirability. I know you guys are all about the optic rookies. How about the gold numbered out of 10?
Boom. 04 out of 10. Love it. Yeah, I think this is just such an iconic year, too, because the only years that they really did these kind of portrait photos. Well, I take that back because, well, they switched it up. And so Panini's weird the way they did stuff. So, like 2017, the optic and the base donruss photos are the same, right? So is 2016, same photos. But then you go to 2018, and they're different photos. And the optic, they've got the helmet on. The base donruss, they've taken it off. And then you go to 2019, they did the same thing where the base donruss is a portrait like this kind of, and then the optic is with the helmet on. It's just, I don't, sometimes, the things like the designers at Panini, I guess, is the ones who decided what they're going to do. Like, just like, making all rookies are going to be silver prism this year, but we're not going to do it in any other sport, in any other set. We're just going to do it in 2016, 2017 prism football. Like, what the hell was that all about?
Yeah, there's not always rhyme or reason to the things that Panini does, but if you find yourself in the market for a scarce card of his, like obviously that gold is pretty expensive. That cracked ice will ultimately probably go for a pretty penny. But what's interesting, Andy, is that cracked ice, and it could just be the light refraction, but it did look gold.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think that's the background on this side.
And you could argue that, anything blue or navy or blue is, navy or gold would be, color match for the Chargers.
Such a beautiful card. And for some reason, I'm finding a bunch of Deshaun Watson that's got Mike Williams in the description. Like, did I tab to it? No, I'm on 2017 Mike Williams. So somebody went ham.
Yeah, some people are trying to get some extra exposure to their Deshaun Watson.
Why wouldn't they just type in Jalen Hurts or Joe Burrow? Beyond me. No, they decided to type in Mike Williams. I guess it's the the Clemson connection there.
Yeah, and the same year, same rookie year, I guess.
That's what it is. Yeah, they're trying to target the college connection there, but I mean, it couldn't be further apart at this point in the NFL. So,
was that one of gold? That Kings? No, it is. Or no?
No, it's just a hollow. It can be tough to find good stuff in from 2017. Here's another nice little entry level one. You got to wait till Sunday at 5. So. Yeah, I mean, it can be tough, right? I mean, you really have to kind of stalk these and just find them throughout the week because I have seen some really good sold items. And so I know that the auctions will come back up. It's just a matter of, are they all ending Monday night? They're ending during the week. They're ending late Sunday night. So you kind of have to be cognizant that more are going to pop up. You just got to be patient. If you want to capitalize now, then you go obviously to the buy it now section. And I don't know if you have any tricks up your sleeve for finding stuff and buy it now. I tend to maybe go newly listed because I'm thinking maybe these are deals that other people haven't found yet. And maybe.
For sure. Yeah, no, that is
that one's on the top range of where I would want to buy this card at. Although I don't think it's bad. It's because it's National Treasures. It's a plain color patch, though, so that doesn't really do anything for it. We do have an on-card autograph, serial number out of 99, and you got the big rookie National Treasures text up at the top.
James has the right idea. I was going to recommend looking up some Select. Select before 2020 was hobby only. And 2017 cards in general are just more scarce, and there's not as many parallels, and just as many base cards even weren't very many were printed. So that's definitely a good direction to look.
This is a nice patch card right here, just a plain patch card. Now I guarantee is at least you get player worn from 2017. You get player worn guaranteed by Panini. Card's really sharp, 88 out of 99. I mean, you definitely have upside in this card at $14.99 with only $1 shipping. Good seller feedback. Card looks to be in good condition. I would say you definitely have upside in this card because of all the colors and the patch and the serial number. The one thing I wish they did, besides this being horizontally formatted, it also doesn't have an RC shield on the front. So that definitely takes away from the card a little bit. When you say, Steve?
Yeah, I do agree with that. The right buyer will know that it is a rookie, but it will take a couple of views away, unfortunately.
Man, they made a lot of horizontally formatted stuff in 2017.
Chat is in agreement that the XRC is a value buy. What do you want to take a look at a couple of those?
Oh, the XRC.
We know we like our XRCs.
Yeah.
Definitely worth taking a look at.
Oh, yeah. XRC's gorgeous card. Okay. Oh, that's interesting right there.
Arguably, if you sort it by price, there might be one even less.
Let's see. 20, got a couple on ComC. This is situation like if you guys run into a card like this is a perfect situation. This honey hole collect here. Go here. Like you find this card, you're like, I like it, but like, man, I wish I could get it for 20 out the door. They don't have a make offer button. This card is in good shape. This is when you add it or you add it to your cart, you watch it, and then you go to Honey Hole Collects store here, and you're like, okay, I'm seeing the baseball love here, so maybe they're undervaluing their football cards, and come in here and see what type of football cards you can find, Steve, and consolidate shipping to where you are now getting this card for basically free shipping. If you combine like Jalen Hurts base prism, well-centered, great corners, $20. I would say that's a deal. I would feel comfortable buying that for $20. What say you, Steve?
That does look in gradable condition. I was going to say also, if you pop over to ComC yet again, the lowest priced one is $20. So if you're looking to hold it on a ComC account, that would take away shipping. And there also is a negotiation button. So there you go.
Yeah, so they have some interesting football cards on here. I think you can consolidate shipping to make it more worth your while, like a Tua base prism now. 15, not bad at all. I think there's going to be some more stuff you may be able to find here and there in their store that hey, man, well, I don't like that horizontal format, that dual patch. But I'm saying at some point, don't forget about Jalen Tolbert. I know his rookie season has been he's been a total ghost, but hey, sometimes rookie seasons happen like that. No, I'm not giving up on him. He was too good in college to bust, man. I think he's gonna fight for a contract, and I think he'll just being on the Cowboys, he'll eventually pop. It's just a matter of time. But they also don't throw the ball much. Like it's not like CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb has had one 30+ fantasy point game this season. Otherwise, it's all a bunch of Keenan Allen type like stat lines, like 7 catches for 70 yards kind of thing, and maybe a touchdown if you get lucky. Or if it is a touchdown, then it's like 3 for 50 and a touchdown. But most of it's like run heavy game. Like look at the guy who's most hyped on Dallas. Well, it's Tony Pollard and Micah Parsons. This is what it is, man.
Oh, I saw that gold. I was hoping that was somebody big, but that's Nashawn Wright.
Hey, but it's gold, Steve. I have no clue who he is, but maybe
you're a Nashawn Wright fan, that could be a good buy.
So yeah, you guys get the idea. You could spend quite a bit of time digging in a store, but this could really, this could turn that $5 shipping into a very appetizing cart. Like overall from this guy, and then maybe you message this guy. So look, dude, I would love to spend like $100 with you. Can you give me like a little 5 or 10% discount? You never know. It can't hurt. Oh, Geno Smith hot rookies number at 25. I'll tell you guys, quick pro tip. hobby tip of the night right here. This card, I bought several copies of this card, not the specific Geno Smith number 925, but I bought a Tom Brady. I bought several Keenan Allens, Russell Wilson, and I've graded almost all of them. I've graded, I think, 3 or 4, a couple with SGC and CSG, and every single one have come back a 10. And then you go and look at the PSA 10 or SGC 10 or BGS 10. Go and look at their pop report on the 2013 Select Hot Rookies insert. This card has an incredibly high gem rate. They made this card with such high precision and quality that almost every single one of these come back a 10, Steve. I mean, it's crazy. It's like a 90% PSA 10 rate on this card. So I'm actually
Can
very
we talk about
interested
how
by
great
this.
they look on top of it?
Yeah, I mean, it's just great. I mean, they're thick. There's absolutely no defects in them. I mean, the card is just, it's just so nice. Like, I don't know what it is. Probably just because they had like a ton of quality back then.
I think a lot of that comes with, Select being like a higher end product and them printing so few compared to, let's say, the current standard of card printing. Quality control is obviously a little bit more enforced when you're printing fewer versus mass production.
I know this is not, this may be your player of the week. Hopefully I'm not calling out your play of the week. But, I mean, should we be talking about Antonio Gibson? I mean, it's a guy that's actually picking up a little bit of steam. But, I mean, Washington could make the playoffs. They could make the playoffs. And, like, Taylor Heinicke is a wild card. And Antonio Gibson can score from anywhere on the field. He's still super young. He's kind of entering the final year of his rookie contract. And I think he may go to a new team. They may even trade him, right? They may trade him. He's so explosive. They draft Brian Robinson, so clearly Ron Rivera has got this affection for Brian Robinson, and maybe Antonio Gibson gets traded somewhere. So I don't know, man, but he's a very interesting prospect that we've seen explode in 2020, and it's just, man, it's been a matter of usage and the reports and heading into the season, and then the whole Washington Commanders brand. They've definitely picked up some hype recently as they're potentially going to sneak into the playoffs. I just hope they don't tie the Giants again this week. I mean, I think Washington and Giants fans and all football fans alike we just hope that there's no tie. Maybe Antonio Gibson scores. I mean, it's definitely possible.
I definitely think that I do agree in one aspect. I think he's a good play for potentially next year. It just doesn't seem like they're that into him. They don't use him to his strengths, and they don't use him quite enough for him to be very effective. I think that Brian Robinson is a guy that I would consider buying more of for now on that team. But if you can find some cheaper Gibsons, I mean, this is an on-card auto with a make an offer button. He goes to a team like, I don't know, Dallas, or I don't know, the Bears, or I don't know, Tampa, or like somewhere that is like a major city that's going to have a lot of fans. Like, you could see his value skyrocket.
Yeah, so he did have some fumbles in the preseason. I'm pulling up his current fumble rate this year during the regular season here. Let's see if I can find it really quick, because I don't think it's been too bad at all during the actual regular season. I think that was preseason that he did have the fumble. I'm not finding it easily right here. I'll see if I can find Antonio Gibson 2022 fumbles. Yeah. Okay. So the preseason where it's fumbled, he hasn't had any fumbles so far this regular season is what I'm looking at.
And he's got 51 targets, receiving targets.
Yeah, he gets a lot of that satellite receiving work. I mean, he kind of suppressed what's his name, Jerick McKinnon, a little bit. and he's so explosive. And it's like, and he played receiver in college a lot, so he's got few miles on his wheels in terms of being a running back and carries. So I don't know. It's interesting, guys. I'm just saying. All right, so Steve, let's see. Jordan, thoughts on Chase Young and his cards? I would say you could build a really nice Chase Young collection at this point. His cards are going to be dirt cheap. Like, go and compare him to Micah Parsons. I mean, it's going to be so cheap. Or Trayvon Diggs. There's a 2020 comparable, and Chase Young's got draft capital. Yeah, but his cards are so cheap.
Towards the end of 2020, when he won Defensive Rookie of the Year, his values were actually quite high. And because of the injury and how long he's been out, the prices have tanked quite a bit. There is still a Chase Young collectible hobby following, for sure. You're not just going to walk away with, a rookie ticket auto for $5, but there's some nice Chase Young cards. I actually shared one in the Discord actually right before the stream, so it's funny that you mentioned that. But I like Chase Young, and I think he's coming back to a defense that was already playing good, and he only makes that team better. So as they make that playoff push, I think it'll be interesting to see, what effect his presence has.
That's a great point, man. Steve, that was a great point, man. You're a defensive player guru here. So there you go, guys. All right, Jordan Love. We have been talking about Jordan Love as a potential buy. Those rumors are still out there, and they're still very much alive that the Packers, if eliminated from the playoffs, are going to give Jordan Love a chance to play for the rest of the season, to either boost up his trade value to trade him as he's entering the final year of his rookie contract. And, he could get the 5th-year option, this and that, but why do that if you got Aaron Rodgers and you're going to stick with him? Or B, they're planning on trying to maybe trade Aaron Rodgers. There is some clause in that, this is a potential scenario that could happen. I don't know all the details about it, but I know that I read it could happen. And so you have two of those two scenarios could be why they want to play Jordan Love. He looked great last time he played against the Eagles. So, there's that. And right now his market, yes, it is soft. It's slightly elevated from where it was like in October in the meat of the season, but it is still very soft, Steve, and definitely could go up a lot if he gets playing time.
I mean, we saw it, a few weeks ago when he got some game time, and we saw it with someone not named Jordan Love, with Sam Ehlinger, and the crazy prices that he fetched simply just by being named starter for a week. So you could imagine what that would do to a player like him getting named the starter. And then imagine if he had a good week or two in a row, what that would do for the value. So again, anytime we're talking about quarterbacks and potential taking the starting job or anything like that, you're playing with huge speculative situations, but those are the kinds that really pay off when they work out in your favor.
Yeah, you can see the graded card market right here on the most popular cards sold in the last 30 days. Base Prism PSA 10, average of $50. That's half of even what the Tua is. So, cards like this could easily jump up. You could see somebody paying $100 for it. Green Bay is such a massive market, and they've got this long-standing. It's kind of like a myth or a legend. It's kind of like the Patriots do about their backup quarterbacks. It's like they, ever since Brett Favre and then Aaron Rodgers, and they've got these guys that'll sit on the depth chart as backups for a year or two and then come in and be a legend. And so now they're looking for, they just think their team is going to keep drafting guys like this, and this is going to keep happening. And that's why as soon as the rookie takes the field, whether it's Bailey Zappi, whether it's Jordan Love, they're going to spring and they're going to empty the wallet for that guy's card, especially in PSA 10, especially in a popular set like Prism, or even look at the Mosaic here is selling well. It's got a high pop, which is definitely playing into that. And it's very cheap, right, to get a PSA 10 with a rook card logo and stuff. And the rated rookie, obviously average of 36. So you could see where somebody would pay $60, $70, $100 for the Prism. Optic Hollow, I could see somebody shelling out $150, $200 for that card kind of thing. The same thing with the Optic, maybe go up to $100. So there's definitely a lot of interesting opportunity in the current Jordan Love market. Definitely worth, I think, stashing one right now and having it. You would definitely be rewarded handsomely.
You know what would be interesting, and this would be a major long shot play, but what if, and I don't know what the cap penalty would be on this, but if the Broncos cut Russell Wilson and acquired Aaron Rodgers, because we all know the Broncos love getting that quarterback in the last few years of his, of his prime or his twilight years or whatever you want to call it, and they did that with Peyton Manning. Just saying, it's not out of the realm of reality with what we saw out of the Broncos this year.
Dude, if you can find an agent that can somehow pull that deal off, I'm sure the Broncos would make it happen, because they are not. Dude, John Elway is not happy right now. Not happy, man. Basic wholesale card. Yeah, DJ Moore is going to be super cheap right now. Virtually every Carolina Panther is. And DJ Moore is such a good long-term player. Like, just stash him, man. Buy him. Yeah, disrespectfully cheap. That just goes to the whole Panthers brand right now. But they're sneaky good, like, especially on defense. And you just don't know when the wheels are going to fall off of Sam Darnold now. So, I mean, I would say DJ Moore, though, is very safe. Very safe guy. Definitely a guy you want to have stashed in your portfolio. Thoughts on Desmond Ridder? I put him on the thumbnail because he is going to be a big storyline this weekend, Steve. Big storyline. Divisional matchup against the Saints, who have kind of been like all over the place this year. 1 week they look good. They shut out the Raiders. Granted, Devontae Adams had the flu or whatever. And, the Raiders have been Jekyll and Hyde this year too. And they just got blown out some games. They've looked good some games. They've had some close games. The defense plays solid at times. Sometimes the offense plays solid. Other times they implode. Michael Thomas is once again just totally flamed out. He's, his career is like now total dust ball phase of his career. And Jarvis Landry has been making some uncharacteristic bad drops. He just doesn't seem like the same Jarvis Landry from years past. Chris Olave looks incredible. On the other side, though, in Atlanta, they're still kicking, man. They're still kicking with a great run game. Sometimes they play decent on defense. Like A.J. Terrell is really good. And then you've got Marcus Mariota, who's been an absolutely terrible passer in terms of efficiency and accuracy, which is probably part of the reason why they run the ball so damn much this year. We're between 4 different running backs. But now you bring in Desmond Ridder, the rookie 3rd-round draft pick, who is not so afraid to throw the ball downfield. And maybe they're without Kyle Pitts. He's out for the rest of the season. But you got Drake London, early 1st-round draft pick from USC, who is just an absolute baller. Reminds me of Mike Evans. So the guy's a stud. And you now bring in Desmond Ridder to see what he's got. He's a rookie. He's fearless. He's ready to go prove the world that he's the next guy. Big market in Atlanta. I'm not really seeing the response yet for his cards. So we could definitely see an interesting spike this week if they go out and torch the Saints. I mean,
the Saints defense has not looked like the Saints defense. Week to week, they've been really inconsistent. I think that as far as the quarterback goes with Desmond Ridder, I think that it definitely bolsters their pass yard volume. And like you said about Drake London, I think he's the largest, beneficiary of that. But I don't know. I'm not completely sold on him just yet, but I definitely would give him a little uptick on your investment sheet or on your fantasy squad this week or for the rest of the season for that matter.
I mean, this is his debut, so potentially this could be his hype spike, that we see for the year. Or it could potentially go up, if he goes out and actually performs well and leads his team to a win. The Falcons are not they're not eliminated from the playoffs yet. It's going to come down to the wire in the NFC South if the Bucs can't get their act together. I mean, and that's another, I'm looking at the injuries to the Bengals secondary. Maybe I'll get onto a tangent there. We'll talk about that. But there's some injuries there, and it's like, there was a touchdown to Mike Evans last week that got called back to a holding. Then they just got absolutely destroyed by the 49ers, who are very good team, very good defense. But there's an opportunity for the Tampa Cincinnati game to shoot out this weekend that I think, I just keep wanting to go back. Obviously, I've got bias because I'm a Bucs fan, but I keep wanting to go back to my PC guy, Mike Evans, and Tom Brady to get their season back on track. And maybe this is it. Maybe I'm just a hopeless, optimistic fan, but the prices on Desmond Ridder, I digress, are not crazy right now. 6 out of 20 certified rookie roll call for 120. That's solid, but that for a rookie quarterback, that's not bad at all. Like this blue ink year one variation from Luminance. Dude, that is cheap. Like if I were to compare that to Chris Olave, let me do a quick comp on that real quick.
Yeah, this falls into that, that gamble territory where, he does have the largest multiplier because he's a quarterback. But again, you could see a $100 investment turn into a $20 one if he fizzles out and becomes a clipboard holder, or $100 investment could become a $350, card if he plays well. So it's a gamble, but those are the kind of gambles that really see the greatest results when they work in your favor.
Yeah. Look, here's the Chris Olave, 43, Desmond Ridder's 46. So if he comes out and proves himself at all, solid game, win. The Falcons are kind of right in the thick of it. Let's say that the Bucs don't beat the Bengals. The Bengals are definitely favored in this game. They definitely have a much better offense at this point. And, even though the Bucs defense has been playing pretty good, it's their run defense that's really been playing good. Their secondary has been gashed plenty of times. So maybe they've been limiting teams here and there, but overall, no. We just got destroyed by Brock Purdy. Come on. So you don't think Joe Burrow with a healthy Jamar Chase, and you don't need a healthy T. Higgins. I don't know. I think T. Higgins might be out, but there's injuries to the Bengals secondary though. I know that, and there's still injuries to the Bucs secondary. So this game could be really interesting. But yeah, Desmond Ridder could technically still be a buy right now.
Ooh, elements.
And I'm looking at sold items to give you guys an idea.
Card, man.
Yeah, I'm looking at sold items to give you guys an idea of where things have currently sold for this week, to give you an idea of where his hype is going into this game. It looks like it's going to be a lot more reaction-based for him based on the performance this week in his NFL debut.
I know we covered it with other players in weeks past, and it obviously has a lot to do with there only being a certain amount of product out for 2022, but the score autos look really nice. Almost like the perfect cross between like modern and vintage as far as their appearance. It's just a clean, like memorable look that the card has.
It really does, man. And I'll tell you, if you guys can find score in your Target, it's a great gift too, for holidays, for kids, for friends that are into cards, because you get a ton of cards out of it. You literally get a stack of like 100 cards, so it's a fun rip, So,
and the hobby boxes aren't terribly priced compared to the rest of the market segment.
Yeah. I would say if you're really going for upside, I highlighted this in my video the other day. Go look at Donruss Elite, because it's got Brock Purdy in there. It's got Isaiah Pacheco in there. They've got it on sale. The hobby boxes add blowout cards. You can really find some massive upside in that hobby box.
And certified if you're looking for Brock Purdy. Those are the only two that I know of.
Certified variant. Man, that ended for $30. That was a deal at $30. Brock Purdy. I don't know. The Brock Purdy market is probably
Still on fire.
yeah. I mean, it's just
For sure.
still on fire.
You're talking about like early Mac Jones crack prices right now.
It's crazy, dude.
What
I mean,
the hell?
these are
Those are
non
base cards.
yeah base cards from Chronicles draft picks, mind you. Chronicles draft picks, the prestige. Crazy, bro.
What? Holy cow, Andy! I'm pretty speechless.
Yeah, I mean, I saw this earlier in the week. I didn't really anticipate it. You know, the 49ers have such a good team environment for him to succeed in that it's like we don't need to put the whole team on Brock Purdy's back. It's not like, you know, I don't know. I hate to say this because he probably would go over there and find a way to turn the ball over and suck it up. But like you put Zach Wilson on the 49ers and maybe he looks halfway decent. But I mean, look at Brock Purdy, dude. Does not ask to do a whole lot, man. He's asked to throw the ball 26 times, you know. And now he's 3-0 in games where he's taking meaningful snaps.
I want to see what the certified one goes for. If that's what the Chronicles one's going for.
$96, numbered out of $399. So and the 49ers, the 49ers clinched last night. So
you know, with him being the last round pick, which is being discussed in the chat, we've seen this in previous years. People that get drafted outside of the first couple rounds don't make it into a lot of product, maybe with the exception of these couple sets and contenders.
Yep. Shout out to Trading Card Database because they do such a good job. It's kind of like Wikipedia for cards. But you come over here, tcdb.com, type in football, type in Brock Purdy, like whoever it is that you collect. I would really highly recommend you do this because this will show you every single card that's been made for him. So you can see there's only been 183 different cards. Now let's go back to TCDB and let's type in Kenny Pickett so to give you guys an idea. Or even no, let's type in Desmond Ridder because he's third round draft capital, but he was this second quarterback taken, and so he definitely has some cards made for him. But in same draft class, 2,730. So that's what third round draft capital quarterback versus Mr. Irrelevant draft capital will do for you. 183 versus 2,730. I mean, just an insanely massive difference. And let's see what Kenny Pickett's got.
3,000 plus, I'm sure, at that point. Let's see.
3,000 plus. Let's go Kenny Pickett.
Oh,
2,784. So just only an extra 54 cards over Ridder. He's late first round, and a lot of people were surprised that he went in the first round and think that the Steelers reached for him there. So, you know.
Yeah. Man, if you went to Walmart and bought some retail product and you have a Brock Purdy base card in your house right now, I encourage you to list it in an auction format right now.
Auction, yeah, that's the way to go, man. Honestly, that's the way to go. People are, I mean, the guy's got the 124.6 passer rating through the past 2 weeks. He's 2-0 on a playoff team, and the 49ers. A lot of people, like I was on Brad the Comeback with some other card hobbyists and content creators. They're all picking the 49ers to go to the Super Bowl. So you got a lot of people like regular rooting and believing that the 49ers will make it back. They've been in so many championship games the past 3 years. It's hard to count them out. You know, you got to think that they'll be right in the thick of it when it comes down to it. I still think that the Eagles are better than them. I don't think that the 49ers will be able to keep up with the Eagles offense. And I think the Eagles offense could still score on the 49ers, but it would be a big it would be a big test. Like that would be an incredible game to watch. I want to see that game. I want to see it come down to the Eagles versus the 49ers. I think the 49ers could beat the Cowboys. Obviously, we've seen them do it before. So I think I want to see the Eagles versus the 49ers. And, obviously, I would love the Tampa Bay to be there. But it's like at this point, like, I don't know. I mean, and at the same time, like I'm not greedy. I got me a Super Bowl at the end of 2020. So it's like, as a fan, I got to be happy and content that Brady got us one. That was unbelievable in its own right. That's why I'm shocked that he didn't retire after that. He just had to come back, and then he had to come back again, and it's just kind of crazy.
Can't put it all on him, though. The offensive line is decimated, and it just goes to show you how important having a good O-line can be.
Yeah, did you see Brady's face when Dre Greenlaw comes up to Brady after the game, and because he picked him off earlier, and he asked Tom Brady to sign the ball that he intercepted from him. He was very nice and very respectful, and looks up to Brady a lot. But it's just like Brady's face is just like shaking his head like FML, like he's just total face palm. He's like F my life.
Yeah, I think by the third quarter when he threw that pick and he was laid out on the ground, I think he just knew the game was already over at that point.
That was a homecoming game for him. That's where Brady went to high school, where he grew up. So it was a lot of he still signed it. It was nice. He actually got a little chuckle for Dre out of that for that. So he could have been totally different, especially after the way that game played out. I mean, it's just got destroyed, and pressure got to him so quick. I mean, our O line is just decimated, man. And the thing is, Brady is a free agent after this season, Steve. And apparently, according to Ian Rappaport, which I don't know, put how much stock you want to put into that, but he's got to create stories for good content. He is part of the NFL media network, but he said all options are on. This was a big storyline before the games last Sunday. All options are on the table for Brady. He's a free agent after the season. He could go anywhere he wants. Maybe he wants to come back another year. Maybe he does want to play for the 49ers. Clearly, Trey Lance is not ready, or it can't stay healthy. And I don't know. He's the GOAT, so he can go where he wants.
I'll tell you what. We actually had a weird long shot discussion before the season, and we were talking about these kind of topics, and I said that you mentioned Brady potentially going to the Niners after this year, and I said if he does that, I'd be willing to stake a reasonable bet on Rodgers going to Tampa Bay after that.
Oh man, I don't know if I want Rodgers Tampa Bay.
Yeah, man. He's GOAT. He's the GOAT light. He's almost up there.
I know. I don't know. I don't know if I'm a
Could you
glutton for
imagine
punishment.
him with the receivers you guys have? It would be career type numbers.
Yeah. What about? I heard some rumors. Maybe Lamar Jackson. Like, I don't know. I would like to get a mobile quarterback on our team. I don't know. If something. Maybe it's just like the fan in me wants to see us make a change, and I haven't seen like a mobile quarterback in Tampa since like Jeff Garcia days. It's like it's been so long, and he's got it's like not a crazy good mobile quarterback, but never really had a really highly mobile quarterback.
I mean, the line will be healthy by then, and we'll see. They won't need a mobile quarterback if they can, protect the pocket.
Yeah. I mean, Trask he's fine. I'm not gonna.
He at the end of the day, like Trask could be ready by the time they need him to be. Like he wasn't really ready right out of the box, but I don't think they really expected him to be, and that's not really probably why they drafted him.
Hey, Patrick Mahomes is pretty mobile.
True.
Cam Newton should have won a Super Bowl.
It's true though. If you look at obviously we're entering a different era of quarterbacks, but the bulk of Super Bowl quarterbacks are all Hall of Famer type pocket passers, right? For the most part. Now that's not exclusive, but at least up to this point, that's kind of been the standard.
When Russell Wilson won the Super Bowl, he was mobile like that. See, I mean, he put up like 400 or 500 rushing yards. So that was like a key component of his strategy and his game.
And I think down the road, you'll see it a lot more because the league is changing. You're seeing a lot more quarterbacks that can take off and run.
Yeah, and I don't necessarily need like a Lamar Jackson, who is probably the most mobile quarterback in the league in terms of a rusher. But like, give me something like Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen. Like, look at these guys that are just very physical, can run the ball when need to. You can even do some designed runs for them. Can scramble, don't need to scramble, can still throw the ball at a high competent level. Like, I think it's just more of a complete package. I think that's definitely it definitely takes a lot of pressure on having a top 5 elite offensive line. Like, you can look at what has happened to the Bucs offensive line this year. And as a result, look how much Brady has struggled. I mean, I know that's just part of the problem, but that has led to miscommunication with the wide receivers. It's led to a lot of frustration, miscommunications in the run game. I mean, it's just led to a lot of issues. I mean, it doesn't help that Bruce Arians retired and Todd Bowles is not like head coach material. I think he's a fine defensive coordinator, but I am totally convinced now 100% Todd Bowles is not head coach material. And they need somebody. And I'm not convinced that, without Bruce Arians, Byron Leftwich is offensive coordinator material. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, no, took the words right out of my mouth. I think it's a little bit of both. The line woes are probably at least 60% of it, and the coaching maybe the other 40. I mean, Brady, I don't think is necessarily fallen off that much from last year. I mean, he's still got a cannon for an arm. He's still hitting guys, but the timing of everything is way off when you're getting a guy coming straight up the gut and you just got the ball in your hands and haven't even brought it up to your chest yet. So there's a lot going on there, but I think it'll be interesting to see what he does. I mean, he gave up his marriage to continue playing football, so I think he continues to play football. Where is going to be the question at the end of the day,
All right, Steve. So who is your play of the week? This is what the good people came here for. We're going to give you guys what you came for. Steve, what do you got for us?
I like to go with underdog type players. And this gentleman, speaking of underdog, Andy, shameless plug. Underdog Fantasy Sports, by the way. If you use code QUEST, get a dollar for dollar cash match up to $100 if you sign up with our code. My play of the week is Adam Thielen. And when I say underdog, it's because he was an undrafted wide receiver. And now one of the better receivers, if not arguably maybe one of the best receivers in the league. Not quite at stretching the field, but definitely in the red zone for sure. And I've got some numbers to back that up. Now, we talked about this a bit earlier, Andy and I, that he's actually a 2014 rookie. However, if you're looking for his rookie cards, you will not find them until 2016. And there are very few of them. Select and Contenders, I believe, are the only two.
He's only got 28 different rookie cards, Steve. 28. And you're right. Yeah, they didn't print a rookie card for him until 2016.
28's low. It reminds me a bit of like the Austin Eckler situation. If you actually look up what his base select go for, it's in the realm of the Brock Purdy's-ish, like in the $50 range.
How do we find his rookie card? The question is like, how do we find a rookie
did you
card?
plug in 2016 in the search?
I did, but I'm on buy it now, so I guess I gotta go all listings.
Yeah, I was only able to find a couple earlier, and you'll know because you'll probably come across a handful of select. in like the 30 and up range. You won't find anything under $30.
So of course he's got the rookie ticket auto. That's basically going to be his gold standard then, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Oh, there's a Panini Instant. I didn't even think to check that, but as far as I know, it's select and contenders. And
Let's
it
go.
seems like I was correct. Okay.
Yeah.
If you look up the base select, I think the cheapest one I found was like 35 to 50, somewhere in that price range. The silvers were like 85 and up. I did not find any rookie ticket autos.
Somebody got a great deal there.
Somebody sniped there. If you actually do a little more digging, they go for quite a bit of money.
What? Yeah, I'm really. I don't know if it's my search or what's going on here.
Just try sorting it by like relevancy versus price. Here
we go. I had it on shipping lowest. It was sorting by a bunch of riffraff. So here we go.
Someone got that for $2 or whatever it was.
Yeah, I was back a month or so
look
ago.
At that purple select.
Out of 75.
Nice.
This is a really interesting play. I think he does have like a lot of clout. I think he's got a nose for the end zone. Like he's currently 7th in red zone targets this year. So he's definitely still a solid red zone threat for the Vikings, who play a lot more aggressive now. He's only had 4 touchdowns this year compared to 10 last year, 14 the year before. So there's definitely some touchdowns in his future here. And I like the scarcity because this makes my decision super easy. Steve, I don't have to think. Like it's select or rookie ticket auto, and then it's like, where do I find a deal? How do I find a deal? I'll take it,
And here's the cool thing too, and having a family member that's super pro Minnesota Vikings, I occasionally find myself looking up some Thielen inserts, and I'll tell you what, there's not a lot of them, at least in the higher end sets. And actually, if you look at ones ending soonest for just under Adam Thielen in general on eBay, there was a National Treasures one ending around maybe right around now, or it ended recently with an auto on it, and you'd be actually kind of surprised what they go for, because there's just not a lot of them. There's just not a lot of his cards printed, and there actually is quite a following for him.
Let me go. Adam Thielen, National Treasures.
Did you go by ending soonest?
Sold. There's 3 days ago out of 50, 2018. I could
pull up the one I was looking at here.
Yeah, see if you can find. I did Adam Thielen National Treasures and did sold. I could just do Adam Thielen. You said it was auto?
Yeah, let's see. Ending soonest. Maybe did it end already?
The Immaculate. That ended tonight. 2021 out of 7. That ended tonight.
That was the one. That was the one. Yep.
Yeah, man, he's got a lot of fans. He really busted onto the scene big time. I mean, going all the way back to 2016, the guy almost put up 1,000 yards in his first relevant season, where he actually played a full season. And he wasn't just a bench warmer. I mean, so and it's just, I know it's one of those storylines, the rags to riches, going undrafted and then really busting on. Panini reacted. They printed some rookie cards for him in 2016, and then 2017, 2018, he goes and puts up to almost 1,300 receiving yards in both those seasons, and then hits double-digit 14 touchdowns in Justin Jefferson's rookie year, 10 last year, 4 this year. So he's had 2 top 10 wide receiver finishes, almost a top 10 in 2020s. Wide receiver 36 right now. So
here's the thing. Obviously, you got the numbers in front of you. Still have a little bit of a cheat sheet, but I'll list off some names. You might, and everyone on the channel probably knows these guys, but here's the company he keeps: Stephon Diggs, Mike Evans, Tyreek Hill, Adam Thielen, Devontae Adams, Cooper Kupp, A.J. Brown, Travis Kelce, DK Metcalf. Where do you think he fits into that stack as far as touchdowns? Now, he's actually having a little bit of a regression year for scoring this year, but touchdowns are unpredictable. So if he's going along with his trend, it's bound to start bucking back up at this point. And let's not forget, all these names, including Adam Thielen, are playoff bound. And that if he already has a cult-like following and is not printed in many sets, a big week, especially towards the playoffs or in the playoffs, is going to skyrocket that. So, where do you think he fits into that realm with these guys?
I don't know. It's middle of the pack. I'm guessing not at the bottom of that list. I'm sure.
So the only one that's not going to make the playoffs is Devontae Adams, who's well ahead of everyone else with 42. Right, that's touchdowns from 2019 to 21. The next is actually Mike Evans, a guy that you know quite well. Believe it or not, the next guy up is Adam Thielen, third on that list.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, that's fascinating. I mean, and that's why he's got this, this kind of cult following. There's definitely a lot of guys that PC Adam Thielen. You can see it in veteran cards. And his rookie cards are expensive, but that's because there's only 28 of them, So I would say got to stalk him, but he's definitely in the shadows of Justin Jefferson. So if you can get the right deal, understand that buying a $10, $15 base select Adam Thielen's not a bad deal. That's actually a good deal because there's so few, and you could turn around and sell that thing for probably $30 or $40. And then the Vikings are definitely a lock for the playoffs.
And obviously, with any card, the most sought after cards are always going to be the rookies. So if you're like that guy that somehow managed to find a poorly listed select base rookie for $2, that's a mega snipe. You saw one that Andy pulled up that was 45, and I'm buying it now. I mean, it's a no-brainer. So I mean, that's a guy that people already have eyes on that could have more eyes on him if he gets back in his scoring habits. You already pointed out the number of red zone looks he's had, and not to mention the Vikings going to the playoffs, which seems inevitable at this point.
Hey, Scatterbrain, let's go. He picked up 3 rookie autos for Jalen Hurts, wondering if you should sell this year or hold them. Dude, look, sell 2 in the playoffs, make a ton of money, and hold the other one. That's probably what I would do. Obviously, he's going to be playing for a lot of years to come. He is now a household name, and so you can feel good about holding them, but at the same time, why not take a double or a triple up? Depending on when you bought these, you could be looking at a triple, maybe a 5x up, depending on the scarcity of the card and when you bought it, how much you paid. So, I mean, like it's hard to turn down that kind of profit if you can get it. Like, man, do it.
Couple other things about Thielen before we move on. We always talk about guys in the rookie cards being in different uniforms. This guy's been a career Viking. He may not be destined for the Pro Football Hall of Fame per se, but he'll definitely be in the Vikings Hall of Fame. And the guy's just a stud. His touchdown regression this year could be because he's played for at least half the season with some kind of ailment. He's as tough as they come, and with the right price, that could be a good flip going into the playoffs.
Yeah, he's 32. So he's kind of on the tail end, but at the same time, he's still getting a lot of red zone targets. So there's potential. There's definitely 30 fantasy point game in his range of outcomes, his upside. So yeah, I mean, I think that's cool, man. He's got like PC value. I'm sure a lot of people can think back of when they were on Adam Thielen before other people. It's kind of like in our prime of playing fantasy football. Throughout the 2010 teens, and so I can think of plenty of times where Adam Thielen was absolutely clutch. So, yeah, I can see that, and that's probably why he's got such a big following. Steve, I want to share something with you and with the community here over on Underdog Fantasy. You brought them up before this. They've got a special this week on the pick'ems of 0.5 completions for Jalen Hurts. And I would not go lower. There's literally
unless he trips on a handoff and breaks his foot, that there's no way he doesn't get there.
Yeah, there is literally no reality where Jalen Hurts doesn't get one completion. Always knock on wood. But yeah, I mean they set you up for that to go ahead and get one in the bag, and then you could just pick one more, like literally one more. Matt Ryan, 3.5 rushing yards. No, sacks count as negative rushing yards for Matt Ryan. I mean, click into Matt Ryan. You could play the rivals. You could say who's going to have more passing yards or passing attempts between Matt Ryan and Kirk Cousins. They give the handicaps. So you got a 2.5 pass attempt handicapped to Matt Ryan. Same thing with the completions. Same thing with the passing yards. But guys, you can play these over-unders. If you feel very confident about a few of these, string these together. All of a sudden, you don't have to go for the 20x like me. I just like to go for the whole kit and caboodle, man. Go big or go home, right? That's just kind of my nature. But I'll say it's a lot harder. I've only ever hit the 20x a couple times, but when you hit it, man, it's sweet. But I've hit 3x, I've hit 4x quite a few times. And it's so much fun to play. You actually get 100% instant deposit bonus when you sign up with promo code Quest for new users. You can't beat it, man. You can put in 10, get a free instant 10. No slow drip. You don't have to wait for it. You don't have to play a certain amount of contests, do a certain amount of pick'ems. You get it instantly. You can do it up to $100, get a free $100. Got a shout out to Underdog. It's a great promotion that they run with promo code Quest. Steve?
Matt Ryan, though most of the season he's underwhelmed, that line has been kind of disappointing, but Minnesota might have one of the, if not the softest secondaries, and they play just the weakest zone coverage I've ever seen. And I could see a big passing day for Matt Ryan.
A big passing day?
Yeah. I'm not saying he's throwing for 400, but he could, I think he could go over 253.
253 is pretty low, man. I had to go. I mean, it's pretty low. He's also played some pretty stingy top secondaries. You think this is the week? You think this is the week they get going? I could see it. I mean, Matt Ryan, we know he's good for it.
Yeah,
they get going there.
Goff's obviously got a much better line, but didn't Goff just throw for like 380 on him?
Well, yeah. I mean, the Vikings secondary is not good. And the other thing is the Vikings offense is good. So this is absolutely going to force the Colts into a situation, most likely. And right, the Colts defense is pretty good. Okay, I get it. They've got a good run defense. They've got a pretty good pass defense. But the Vikings, I just think, with their weapons and the way they play, they're just too good. And their defense is like one of the worst in the league in terms of pass defense. So yeah, let's go. Let's run it up, man. Let's go for the 253 passing yards over.
I'd love to see that game be a shootout. And I know Derek's not favorite receiver, who's a guy that I like, Michael Pittman. I'll be rooting for him this weekend, but
hell yeah. Hell yeah. I mean, it's about time that he bounces back, man. I think this is a good matchup for him. I do like Michael Pittman. Now he's just had not a great year, but he's still on the field almost 100%. The entire Colts team has had a bad year. So it's like, I'm not going to pin it on Michael Pittman. I like Michael Pittman. Yeah, sure. Has he missed a couple games this year? Yeah, he's missed a couple games. But have the Colts sucked this year? Yes, the Colts have really sucked. They've struggled with coaching issues, quarterback issues, offensive line issues. I mean, you name it, dude. It's just been issue after issue. The guy still gets a lot of targets, still gets almost 100% snap share, is still a very good athlete at 6'4", 223 with a 94th percentile speed score. I like him. Early second round draft capital out of USC. Derek, what's not to like? What's not to like about the guy? I mean, let's go. What do you want? Receptions or receiving yards? I mean, I could easily see 5.5 receptions this game.
Yeah, that's not bad. I like that.
If we're going Matt Ryan over on passing yards, he's going to take a wide receiver with him. Sorry, say that again, Steve.
I said I actually like that Alec Pierce one as well for yardage. For yardage.
38.5. Now, see, I'm not a big fan of Alec Pierce, but I know some of you guys are. I know some people out there. There's Shant lurking around somewhere. I know Derek loves him because he's got late second round draft capital out of Cincinnati. Played with Desmond Ridder, man. This was Desmond Ridder's guy. Old Alec Pierce. Desmond Ridder's guy right here. 21% target share with Desmond Ridder. The old game log definitely says that Alec Pierce could easily get there.
His last game before the bye, he had 85 yards. I mean, he's got the athletic ability to make big plays. So
we got a Chase McLaughlin, Kyle Granson, the kicker. We go 1.5 field goals over on the kicker. I mean, it's a chance that they go over on that. I could go lower if we're picking Matt going over on the yardage. Pittman, Alec Pierce. We got Cousins on the other side though.
Yeah, I think I'd rather take a couple Vikings than
maybe taking under. Maybe we going under on Dalvin Cook. I mean, Dalvin Cook could easily disappoint in this game.
He hasn't been rushing for a lot of yards lately.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking plus EV plays. The Colts run defense is 6 in yards allowed per carry, 15th. I mean, they could. I'm on board with that. Trying to take this special from Jalen Hurts here all the way to the house. And I mean, we're talking about a guy that 36 total yards last week, 83 against the Jets. 56 against New England. If we're thinking Matt Ryan's going to open things up, all of a sudden, I think they do kind of. He hasn't hit this over on 90.5 since week 10 against Buffalo, and he's hit it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times this year out of 14. So the odds are that he doesn't hit it.
Yeah, that's
odds are he's kind of
underwhelmed the past couple of weeks, so that's very reasonable.
Yep, odds are he does not hit it, sir.
Ooh, do we go Thielen over 4 receptions since we're talking Mr. Adam Thielen?
Is this the game?
It's a pretty low number.
The quarterback matchup for him, Isaiah Hodgins, who is ranked a top 34 corner in the league, which is interesting. I'm not sure if he'll be matched up on him the entire game, but that's just something to make you so. But I mean, I don't know if it's really something to put a whole lot of stock into. I think he could easily go over in this game. He got over 4 receptions in 1, 2, 3, 4 out of the last 7. That's plus EV. 2 out of the last 3.
Yeah,
he didn't go over against the Jets because he was matched up against Sauce Gardner most of the time. This is definitely going to be easier matchup than Sauce Gardner. I'll take it over. Oh, we're maxed out at 20.
Oh, okay.
No, that's another I think that's another solid play for you guys right there. I'm going 10. No
Boom.
Insurance. Keep your insurance, Underdog, but I appreciate it. It's great for people that want to play it safe. You turn that insurance on. You can get one wrong. Oh, something's changed. What changed, Steve?
Oh,
Refresh.
what was it, Pittman? The Pittman one changed. Did you have Pittman on there?
I didn't have Pittman. Let's see. Let's refresh it. Went 253 over on Matt Ryan. Didn't have Pittman. Oh, they got rid of the receptions line from Pittman.
Interesting.
Yeah, too many people bet it. Too many people bet the reception line on Pittman.
Does that
So hopefully it was you guys out there in the chat. We're gonna go lower on Cook. Well, we'll add it. We're gonna add in Thielen. It was meant to be.
Let's go, man.
Let's go. Let's do this.
Yeah, and if you guys haven't tried any of these player picks before, it's fun. You don't have to throw $20 at it, but if you got any of these guys like on your fantasy squad and you're feeling riding high on them week to week, it's fun to have like a second layer, if you will, to cheer your guys on every week.
Travis says one problem he has with underdogs, the payouts. They pay 2-1 on a 2-leg bet. They pay 3x on a 2-leg bet. Is that 2-1? So basically, you take your money and triple it. So yeah, I see what you're saying. 2-1, 2-leg bet, when they should be paying Vegas parlay odds of 2.6-1. 3-leg parlays 5-1 when they should pay 6-1. Interesting. But you also can't do single prop bets on here, because technically then they would be banned in like all states except for 3. So maybe it has something to do with it. I will tell you though, if you go look at like Thrive Fantasy or Prize Picks or Monkey Knife Fight, the multipliers that you get from Underdog on their pick'ems are better than all those sites. So yeah.
Did you have any good picks hit last week? I had one that a guy you talked about earlier with DJ Chark. I put a nice sizable amount of money when I saw his line, which was over 34 yards. I thought that was about as close to a guarantee as you can get. And as you know, he had that long touchdown, and I think he finished with like about 85 yards and a touchdown.
Interesting. Yeah. Oh yeah, dude, he smashed. Yeah, Seatown, man, I feel for you. I could be a lot worse here in Florida, but it stinks, man. It stinks. Every state needs to be like New Jersey. Like New Jersey, like everything is legal. Like I know there's a couple more states like that, but New Jersey is one that comes to mind, where it's like, you can do sports betting online, you can play poker online, you can like anything online in gambling, and you're good to go. But so many other states are locked down on everything. New Hampshire, there you go. Derek's he's up there. He probably drives to New Hampshire on the reg. I did cash in a few Underdog best ball tournaments drafted from before the year that I made was like $70 on this past week. So that was cool.
Yeah, I know a couple of the guys in the chat did some. I know Derek's in a few of them. We did some drafts together. I'm looking good in quite a few of the best ball ones. I know you advanced in a couple of them as well. I know a few people in the Discord are in the next round as well. And this is where the big money potential comes into play. And hey, if you've made it this far, good luck. And maybe someone from the community can get that top spot. That'd be nice.
Yeah, man. That'd be really cool. Really cool. All right, guys. It is time for us to sign off. It feels like it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. I spent pretty much all day working on the kids' treehouse, if you guys have been around. So I'm gonna do a back. I'm proud of this thing, man. I've been working it. Got all my fingers still too, dude. I've been working the miter saw like like just a lumberjack out there, man, going crazy on it. So almost done. Like cut like a million pieces of wood today, so I'm pretty gassed. But it's been a fun live stream, and I look forward. Yes, I will definitely do a backstage pass, give you guys an update on the treehouse. It's pretty badass, man. So I'm excited for the kids to get it for Christmas. I'm trying to get it done, and it's like I'm like halfway done with it. It's like a double platform thing, so I'll have to show it to you guys over on. I'll do a backstage pass over on Patreon. Yeah, that was a good stream, Steve. Man, I am pumped. Enjoy the games tomorrow, Sunday. I can't wait to get back at it next week.
Actually,
man.
Tomorrow's Saturday, and there actually is a game tomorrow, Andy. There is one game tomorrow.
Yeah, there's 3 games tomorrow, brother.
Is there 3? Oh, there is 3 tomorrow. Yeah, you're right.
Man.
I thought there was just the one, but yeah, you're right. There is 3 tomorrow. And speaking of football this weekend, I'm playing you in our Dynasty League this week. It'll be a good matchup.
The playoffs. I'm playing Steve in the playoffs. Let's go. That's a good matchup, man.
It's going to be good. Yeah, I think we did a couple with the community and one with the content creators. I think I'm in the playoffs of that one too. So a lot of things going on, man. It'll be interesting to see how that shakes out.
All right, dude. Yeah, man. I'm pumped.
Let's see if our parlay hits for tomorrow. Good stream, and good luck to everyone in your games this weekend.
Show the playoffs video for 5 seconds. Show the playoffs video. Gotta get some beer for the Bills game. Yeah, man. Snow games coming. Let's go, man. Let's go. Yeah, I'm pumped for tomorrow, Steve. All right, guys. I appreciate you guys. Had a great time tonight. Congrats, Brandon. Nice sale, brother. Hope you guys have a good night, good weekend. Enjoy the football, the festivities, and the family. Peace.